It is time for a big Week 7 in the BBR. A win puts me into the playoffs. A loss puts me into a playoff decider in the final week. Big stakes up ahead here against D-Ray. If you guys are excited for today's battle, make sure to like and subscribe. So let's get into the team. No team builder separately this week. As I said in the team builder last week, I am on vacation currently. You can tell because I'm wearing the same shirt I recorded the team builder in for that video. I recorded quite a ways after that battle. So that is where we're at now. So let's get into the team that I brought. Once again, I'm not going to do a full detailed team builder because of that fact. I just have not had the time to really deep the matchup in the way that I would like to provide a valuable team builder. So that doesn't mean my team's not good though. We got a lot of good stuff going on here. So let's kind of focus on a few things here. Obviously the Dragapult being Will-O-Wisp U-turn is not really, anything in particular. Will-O-Wisp is going to be a difficult move to click here though a lot of the time because the Dunsparce is going to be able to Boom Burst a decent amount of my team. And that's something that I have to be really mindful of. So I can't really freely Will-O-Wisp with that Pokemon, in the game. But I have to find a way to prevent Sylveon from being just like absolutely, rampant against my team. So Will-O-Wisp Hex does a really good job at pressuring Sylveon from coming in multiple times. We do have Quiver Dance Volcarona at this point in this matchup. Terra Water again this time. Terra Water been such a great addition to this team. A really, really good transaction. I'm not someone who usually makes a lot of transactions, but this transaction was crucial, I think, in terms of unlocking a few key matchups this season, and this will be another one. The Iron Hands and the Tauros aren't really that special. They're just physical attackers in this matchup. Heavy Duty Boots, Life Orb, respectively. Nice to see Tauros coming again for a second time here. Let's focus on the other two Pokemon because there's some interesting things there. Obviously, Uxie here looks to just be a standard rocker. It does have Covert Cloak because of Sneasler on D-Ray's team, so that's something we have to keep in mind. But Skill Swap here can take Pixelate from Sylveon in certain situations, making it much easier to switch in on, especially for something like Dragapult. Makes it, if I can just start switching my Dragapult in on Sylveon, that makes it really, really difficult for D-Ray to get momentum in this game. So hopefully something that we can make a good use in this battle. And then Focus Sash Diancie is going to be a really powerful lead. If he has stuff like Treads or Samurott, then we get to lead off with this and just, pick up a kill right off the bat against one of his Hazard Setters. If he has Talonflame, we do have to keep this as a defensive check for Talonflame in the game, so we can't just lead off and start claiming kills. But once again, that is what that Pokemon is going to be there for. Really interesting matchup, and I hope you guys enjoy the battle. Alright, it's time to cook. Let's see what D-Ray. Alright, let's see what D-Ray has got going on. One thing I will note, this might not be as edited down as usual in terms of my videos. I'm recording this at midnight and have to get to work for 8 a.m. in the morning with this video being up. So, hope you guys can, understand that. It'll be maybe a little less edited than normal, but hopefully we have a really good and clean game here. As I said, I just need one win to make playoffs. The magic number's at 5, basically. So the nerves are, they're a little high, we'll say, but it is what it is. All right, so looking at the team here, D-Ray has elected to not bring the Talonflame, which means our Diancie is going to lead every time here. Hopefully either picking up the Iron Treads or the Samurott Hisui early. He could also lead the Sneasler. That is, another possibility. But we're gonna, hopefully bank on the fact that we do see, one of those leads come out from D-Ray. That would be really, really clutch if you lead something like Samurott and just tries to, set up, with an Iron Tread, tries to set up rocks or something. Really just want to trade for as much damage as humanly possible in this situation. So good luck, have fun to D-Ray. Maggie is finally woken up, just vibing in the back, as always. Whew. Let's see what background we get. Give me something sick. Dude, look at my bozo ass trainer card. Oh, we got the good one. Okay. Let's see what he leads up. Alright, yeah. Sylveon. Okay. I could set up a spike on this. I think that's probably the best thing to do, honestly, is just to set up a spike. Just to, put up some pressure on his team. Obviously, stuff like Sneasler is not going to want to come in multiple times on spikes. This could also just like be very, very threatening for him, and I expect something like Decidueye to come out here. Most likely. Yeah, I'm just going to set up a layer of spikes here. Just see what DR wants to do. You could see something like a Baton Pass coming out here just to, maintain momentum. I would like to preserve the Focus Sash on this. Obviously, this is, not playing into that Focus Sash, but this, it is designed to be leading. Just going to Hyper Voice, which is fine. That's going to do a ton of damage, and I think that might be Choice Specs Hyper Voice. And that is going to be Choice Specs Hyper Voice. I don't really have... Well, this is the problem with Sylveon in this matchup. I really don't have great ways to go into Choice Specs. But thankfully, because now that we do know it's Choice Specs, we can go right into Volcarona. And that means we're going to really need to keep this in base form as much as possible in this matchup. We're not going to be able to go into water that often. So that is really good information to pick up. Really don't like that I had to take all that damage on the Diancie, for example, to get up that hazard. But you see here, like, look at this. Like, how much damage is this thing doing? Like, that is insane that it is doing that much damage. Now, in this spot, which is kind of nice. Now, I could Quiver Dance, I could Morning Sun. The most likely switch in here is probably the Thunderous. I can't really Terra Blast here, obviously. That, doesn't make a lot of sense. In this situation, I can kind of double out here into my Tauros here, get really, really aggressive against his team. He could go into something like Iron Treads. Iron Treads seems a little bit risky in this spot, though. So I'm just going to get really aggressive here and just go into my Tauros. This might be... I don't think there's a reason for him to stay in an attack. I just don't think that's like a likely play here to see him do. And this might be a Pokemon that I didn't need to take this risk with. But we'll see how this goes. Yeah, he is going to withdraw. Okay, perfect. And if he goes into Thunderous, then that's going to be, a really good situation for me. With the Chef. Alright, he goes into this. What's nice is I am going to outspeed this and be able to, deal a bunch of damage with close combat. He could go into something like Decidueye, which makes me kind of want to Assurance here. That might be a little bit aggressive of a move this early in the game. I've already, shown to be willing to play very aggressively. If he is like Adamant Swords Dance, for example, he's not really doing a lot of damage to me. And even if I get this play wrong, it's highly likely that I just take a little bit of damage and then I just close combat again later. Or I just body slam again. Yeah, I'm just going to Assurance here. Assurance still does like a decent amount of damage. And I would really, really like to catch the Decidueye here on this switch in. Hooters. Okay, that is the Decidueye here, so perfect. Getting that play right early, really good to get a prediction right here early on. Just bop. That did a massive amount of damage, and he does reveal it to be Rocky Helmet, which is good to know. So yeah, that did like an actual a metric ton of damage. Now I could go for another attack here. So we do know this is Rocky Helmet. Obviously, I don't want to take a lot of damage on this thing. This Pokemon's going to be very, very key in this matchup, but I could go... Rock Slide is obviously just going to miss. Like, there's just no reason to go for that. I could Body Slam, but I'm just going to Assurance pick up a kill here. Yeah, there we go. Tauros picks up the kill against Decidueye. And that is an early kill. And with that Choice Spec Sylveon being such a problem in this matchup, why did this lose some HP? Wait, hold on. Oh, it's because of Assurance. Yeah, it's losing Life Orb because of the Assurance. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That makes sense. I was going to say, why am I losing so much damage? But it's because of that. Now, I could have Rock Slided there to prevent that from happening, but obviously I want to make sure that I take the least amount of damage. I want to actually make sure I don't miss the damn move, because that would obviously be like super daggers. Freddy, what is this Pokemon? The Sneasler. Okay, perfect. So Sneasler, every time this, oh, and the fact that it's not heavy duty boots is also very, very massive in this spot. So that just means we could get to go free into the Uxie, as he's just going to Dire Claw, but we have Covert Cloak, so that will not be a problem at all. He could Night Slash here. That's, you know, a realistic play on his part. You know, if he has it, I would probably click it here. I think it's pretty evident what my game plan is in terms of a switch in for this Pokemon. If I look at like where the end game is going here, I think Thundurus is like still really, really big problem, and I really want to preserve my Tauros for that as much as possible. Sylveon obviously still very, very problematic as well. But that's a Pokemon that's a lot easier for my team to check. Let's see, he's just going to go for the close combat, which is interesting. Going for the super effective move. Now, let's see what he goes into here. I think the obvious play, you know, I don't think he's going to stay in. I think that would be a little, I wouldn't say, I would definitely, certainly disagree. And the fact that he has Treads, which could be a rocker. I could skill swap. That would not make any sense at all here. I could go for the foul play on the incoming Samurott here. Looking at my team, I don't really have a good Samurott switch in, and I've never been very, very aggressive with switches as is. Stealth Rock would be really nice to get up here as well, in case Thundurus is, you know, not heavy-duty boots. Also puts a lot of pressure on that Sylveon. I think we're really opening up a good potential here for our good friend Volcarona to win. So I'm just going to set up some Stealth Rocks. I can also just sack off the Diancie in this spot if they want a Ceaseless Edge. And yeah, he's going to go into the shaft, so we get up to the spikes and the rocks, which is going to be very, very key. So stuff like Samurott not going to be able to have that much longevity here the rest of this game, and stuff like Sylveon, once again, now that we know that it's choice specs, we really want to get as much damage on that as possible. Now, not really the biggest fan of having to do this here and to just throw out the Diancie. Kind of unfortunate that this is, you know, the Switch would have liked to have seen this done a little bit more on the lead matchup, but we're going to sack it here. I'm expecting something like a Ceaseless Edge to come out. If he does go for the Ceaseless Edge, I could go into something like, I could probably go into Iron Hands after. Iron Hands does a really good job of just like clicking, you know, buttons, really putting some, you know, big pressure on his team. And he's just going to go for the Ceaseless Edge. So that's going to do actually a decent amount of damage. That's a crit. Okay. That's unfortunate. Luckily, like most of our team is in the air. Obviously, the, what is it called? The Tauros is not. Tauros is actually going to be affected by these. So this is a little bit of a problem. I'm just going to click Moonblast just, you know, to protect the inside. He's just going to click Aqua Cutter, not even get that second set of spikes up. No reason to risk that at all. Very, very good play on his part to do that. Now the question here is where do I go? Where do I go from here? So I go into something like Dragapult. I can drop a Draco. If I miss, obviously that's like pretty problematic. I can go into this in U-turn. That's not really productive. I can kind of go into Tauros and just throw off a Body Slam here. Nothing switching into this Body Slam. You know, he could go into Iron Treads, for example. But that's really going to be a difficult situation. I can go into... I'm going to go into Iron Hands, actually. I kind of want to go into Iron Hands here. This might not be the smartest play. I really want to preserve Tauros, I think, to check the Sylveon, if at all possible. So I'm kind of faking the Thunder Punch here, you know, pretty heavily. I think it's, you know, kind of obvious that's what I'm expecting to do here, and I don't think he's going to want to lose this Pokemon at all. I've been very, very aggressive with all of my attacks, though, so I'm kind of considering going for the Drain Punch here, protecting its Iron Treads. Though Ice Punch does maybe a little bit better job of protecting against the Thundurus, and if he stays in, I honestly don't really care if he stays in and attacks. I can just, you know, go for a Drain Punch the next turn. So I'm just going to Ice Punch on the switch out. Yep, and he's going to switch. Perfect. Aria. And that is a Pokemon we've already seen, the Sylveon. That's going to take some spikes. Alright, no freeze. Let's take a look here at this speed tier. I would really like to pick this off with a Heavy Slam, given an opportunity. I think it's... I do have 108 speed, so let's see. I do have the ability to outspeed some creeps, but the fact that this is choice specs makes me believe that this is going to be faster. And Modest Hyper Voice is like killing me every time, even though, and the fact that he went into this means he's got to have some sort of speed. So I think at this point I'm just gonna go into, I don't want to lose this Iron Hands. Do I take advantage of the creep at this spot? I'm gonna go into Volcarona. I think I really wanted to stay in and click that move there, but I think I have to go Volcarona to protect in that situation. I don't think he can Side Shock there. Side Shock is not really killing me, and he's just gonna go for the Wish. Interesting. So maybe I'm misevaluating the damage on this, and it's just modest 252. So here, what is the likely switch in is probably something like the Samurott. I could expect something like Samurott to come in here. I could just Quiver Dance on this. What do I lose if I Quiver Dance? Not a lot, to be honest. If it's... I think I might have misevaluated the specs damage. Man, I could have just Heavy Slammed that. Maybe I shouldn't have played scared in that spot. I think. If I Quiver Dance, I'm Terra Water for Iron Treads if that comes in. I'm just going to set up a Quiver Dance here. He's just going to withdraw. He's going to bring out Freddy. So I could Terra Blast and do a million damage, but he's just going to kill me after that. So I'm just going to go right into the same thing here. I just no reason to vary from this play. Man, I'm a little disappointed I didn't click Heavy Slam there. I was really worried that I was going to have the speed to actually get me. And that would have been a huge KO there, and that would have honestly changed the complexion of this game. So don't want to keep second guessing myself right now. I think we're in a perfectly reasonable spot. The question is what does he want to do? What would he do here? I think he's probably worried that I have something like Psychic. He could be Choice Scarf. That's, entirely a possibility in this spot. And he doesn't know that my exact moveset actually doesn't kill him in this spot, so he's probably going to... If he switches, then we get crucial information that this isn't Choice Scarf, which will be important. He's just going to close combat. Okay. Perfect. And so now I can just... He went into Sylveon on this last time. I could skill swap here, which would be like pretty... that would honestly be pretty based to use skill swap, and then I can go right into Iron Hands and then start like attacking. I think I'm actually going to do that. He did go into Samurai, I think, I think he's going to want to come into Sylveon again here, so I think I kind of want to skill swap. Yeah, I'm going to click it. I'm going to be based. We're going to be based and skill swap this Sylveon. Oh, he goes into this. That was not what I was expecting, to be honest. Those Iron Treads. I'm kind of was wishing... I don't like that this is skill swap now. Yeah, it failed too. Okay, that's perfect. That's not really what I wanted to happen here. I really expected the Sylveon to come out and try to get aggressive in that spot. So it could be knockoff here. I'm in a really tough spot where I don't have a lot of checks to his team anymore. We're getting to some like really awkward territory. I could go into something like... I expect the knockoff here, to be perfectly honest. I'm just going to foul play. This probably feels like a mistake. Yeah, and he's just going to Mega Horn. I do live, which is nice. And I do get some foul play damage off, which is important. But I just... Man, I really needed to get that Sylveon play right, I think. I think that was a mistake that's going to really hurt me. And now I don't really have a good switch in to the Sneasler. Yeah, I'm not confident in how I'm playing right now. All right, let's regroup. Let's think this through. What do we want to spend our turn here on? We can spend the turn on going into the Iron Hands. I can see him double Earthquaking here. Double Earthquake protects against a lot of things. I could just sack this off and like be safe about things. That means I'm gonna have to just get aggressive and set up. I think I just have to attack here. I think it's just the safest thing. He's just gonna Iron Head. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I really don't like how I'm playing this game right now. I do not really feel like I'm in a good spot, though. What's nice here now is we get to go into TAUROS. And TAUROS does revenge kill this and do like 1,000,000 to something. We could also go into Dragapult, drop a Draco, though I think I'm just going to go into TAUROS and threaten the close combat here on this. It could be Choppel. I really do not like the position I've gotten myself into here. I think I just have to go into TAUROS. I think I just have to go into TAUROS. I don't expect... He could switch into something. Anything he switches into is likely just taking 1,000,000. Honestly, I think the result of any of this... anything that results out of this turn I think is fine. If this is Choppel, that's like pretty unfortunate. But I can bring in our friend... What is it called? I can bring in our friend Dragapult after. Oh, alright. Let's focus up. We gotta get, I think, every turn right here the rest of the game. Okay, that's actually pretty decent. Alright, okay, perfect. It's actually taking a lot of chip damage here. And so TAUROS is gonna pick up its second kill of the game here. Which is good. So I still really wish I picked up that Sylveon earlier. It's so unfortunate that that happened. But I still have a good body slammer here against the Thundurus. I think he's got to go Sneasler here. I think it doesn't make sense to not go Sneasler here. The problem is now I have to check it with Dragapult. I know it's not Choice Scarp though. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's Choice Scarf yet or not. He's gonna go into this. This does not feel like the right play. So it could be Sucker Punch here. He's probably going to be Sucker Punch to try to revenge this, is my likely guess. In that case, I can just go into Iron Hands here. I would like to preserve this as a way to check the Thundurus and put some damage on that as well. And I think I can take any hit with Iron Hands, so I think I'm just going to go in Iron Hands here, preserve this for one final hurrah. One final hurrah in this situation. Yeah, and he is just going to Sucker Punch. Okay, perfect. So the last time I was in here, I Ice Punched. Does that, like, give him any pause to do something else and, like, get aggro and stay in? I could get really crazy in Earthquake. I think it's pretty obvious my willingness to just like click him. So what is this? The Cutter, Punch, Edge. Treads is like... I can still, I think I'm fine if he goes into the Thundurus. I don't think that's likely here. I think something like Iron Treads. He could go Sneasler. I'm just going to Drain Punch this, honestly. If he goes into Thundurus, that's like a decent play. He's going to Aqua Cutter. That's perfectly fine. Wow, that did actually 0 damage. Okay, perfect. And he, I think, tries to get me being a little aggressive there in that spot. So Samurott, it goes down to the hands. Now he probably brings in something like Sneasler, Thundurus here. Thundurus is probably, if he brings in Thundurus, it's Terra Flying, which, ugh, feeling not great about that. I think we've simplified this endgame though, just a little bit. I think we've done a good job simplifying the endgame, which is crucial. That's pretty important here. One of the things I was worried about in this matchup was there's so many complicated, what's it called? There's so many complicated switch-ins in this matchup that's really hard to manage that. He goes into this. So if he's Jolly, Earthquake. If he's Adamant EQ, he has a chance. He has like a decent shot of killing here. In this spot, he could be Jolly. If he's Adamant, I mean, if he's he could be Adamant, but if he's Adamant, then I just bring in my, what is it called, my Tauros and pick up another kill. Do I have like a good switch into this? Not particularly at this point. I think I just kind of have to bank on the fact that this is Jolly and Drain Punch what's in front of me. Alright, Iron Hands. Big live here required. Nice, it is Jolly. That is perfect. And another kill from Iron Hands here. Needed in this spot. And now he's left with the Sneasler and the Thunderous. Two Pokemon that I am perfectly okay with in this spot. The problem here is that Sneasler might still be a problem because I let this thing take so much damage. I'm trying to think through. I'm not... If he's Choice Scarf and he hits a knockoff, then I go into... I went for the simplified end state, but I don't know. I think that could be... I don't know if a losing play, but I'm still not 100% confident in this spot. Even though he has 2 Pokemon and I have, like, what, 3? No, I have 4 left. Freddy. The Sneasler, okay. Well, I know that Tauros should outspeed the Thunderous. I think that part I kind of understand. So I think I kind of have to sack this thing off, see what he wants to do. I think there's like a decent chance this is probably Choice Scarf. If he clicks a Dark move... I mean, if he can't really click a Dark move here, actually. It's not actually going to do enough. But yeah, so he actually has to click a real move here. So I'm just going to Earthquake here. If he clicks a knockup, he's just going to Dire Claw. Okay. So if he's Choice Scarf, then he's locked himself into Dire Claw, which is really, really good information for me. And then I can come into Dragapult here and drop a Draco. I think this is how I have to play it here. I should be able to live this. I could Will-O-Wisp here. Alright, so it doesn't have Sucker Punch, so I'm probably just going to drop a Draco here, honestly, is my safest play. There's a chance that this doesn't kill, but I think I just have to drop a Draco. He is Choice Scarf. I am going to live that. I just have to not get Mickey'd here. I got Poison Touch. Wow, I get poisoned. Getting poisoned is actually perfect here on this. And hopefully I hit the Draco. And it... Oh, it's at fucking nothing. Okay. So the fact that it's Choice Scarf is perfect, so I can actually U-turn here. And the fact that... Yeah, I actually... Wow, the fact that this got poisoned is actually, like, perfect. So now I can actually U-turn, go into my Tauros and just Body Slam and preserve the health on and preserve this to come in and attack the Thunderous after. Wow, that actually worked out perfectly in this spot. That's actually insane. Oh my goodness, the Poison Touch coming through here in this spot, and I think we pulled out. That was a pretty tough game, honestly. Like these offensive game, like SV. I mean, for there's some criticism that it's a little bit of a Mickey tier. That it feels like there's a lot of offensive 50-50s, but wow, this ended up being perfect. And yeah, I'm gonna pick up the U-turn kill on this, and I just get to go into Tauros, and then that is the perfect situation here for me. So you get to go into here, click the Body Slam. The Body Slam's gonna do 1,000,000 damage, and if he's if it doesn't kill, I just get it probably won't kill, but I can just bring in Dragapult after and pick up the extra damage. And it is heavy duty boots, so we know that we're going to outspeed every time. Drop a Body Slam on this thing. Don't risk a miss. We don't need to risk a miss. We can just deal as much damage to this and then bring in Dragapult after to Hex. Might lose me differential, but once again, we win this and we're in playoffs, and that's all that matters at this point in time, is making playoffs. He could go for something like Agility here. That is a possibility. That is, a potential winning play from him. But I'm just going to Body Slam, and he is going to Agility. That is tough. Oh, I should have rock. Maybe I should have rock slide. He could have been Terra Steel though in that specific spot. Okay. Yeah, I maybe could have burned this thing. Well, I mean, I'm just going to attack again. There's no reason not to attack again here. I could have rock slide. Man, he's going to Thunderbolt here. Okay. Perfect. I'm not doing anything fancy here. And I go into Volcarona and I force. Do I force the 50-50 with Volcarona? I think I do. Because Terra Blast will kill in either form here. Man, this is tough. Okay, hold on, let me think this through. But going to Dragapult, you know, I fake the Sucker Punch. I think I'm gonna do this first and fake Sucker Punch here and see if like he'll get pranked into doing something. I think I'm gonna give him an opportunity to choke this game here first before we go into a 50-50 with the Volcarona. I don't expect them to choke, but I think it's like always a possibility. And I think you have to let your opponent make a mistake in this situation. And the way that I bring this in first makes it, he might believe that I'm Sucker Punch, so he might try to play around this. He's gonna Terra. Terra Ice. Okay. So this might actually be a true 50-50 here at the end. He's going to elect a Terra Blast. Okay, so he doesn't bite the bait here. The fact that it's Ice. I think we should be fine here with the Volcarona in the base form, actually, just to... I think we should be fine here. So Terra Blast. I don't think there's any reason to not just... I think I might have thrown away a differential point there. I think I just stay in base form. Don't allow myself to choke because this is Ice type and we just click a regular Terra Blast and kill this Pokemon. I think that's the win con because this wasn't flying. Unless he has some sort of crazy other move to hit me in this base form and I just like completely threw. But I think he's probably going to click Thunderbolt here, most likely. Yep, he is. So we're going to stay in base form, and do we live? Yes, we do. Don't para me. There we go. Oh my goodness. What a game against D-Ray that was. Oh, I think I probably could have just gone into this first. I think I had to play around the potential. I don't know why I thought this was flying. Maybe I just like misread the team, but we defeat D-Ray, and we make playoffs in the BBR. That is such a relief after such a hectic week of work and all of that going in. Man, I am super excited to be back in the playoffs in Wi-Fi. 2 in a row we're making playoffs in Wi-Fi. That is something else. But that is it for today's video. Make sure to tune in next week against John Jr., where we have a chance to go 6-2 and potentially get a top 4 spot. Still a lot to play for in this season, certainly. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, have a wonderful day.